so you can think about your thinking, so you can observe your thinking. Alan Watts said it. He's one of my favorites. When we learn to think about our thinking, we become alive in a new way. And most people are not thinking about their thinking, also known as their mindset. Your mindset is your thinking. It's a story you tell yourself. It's your thinking, your speaking, and your writing. That's what your language is. That's how the story comes out. Most people are not thinking about their thinking. They're just thinking, and it's going really fast. The story is going really fast. And
so by that, like with that question, like you mean like as soon as you write that down, you start coming up with answers, to it immediately. So the faster things start coming in, that's what you need to slow down. That's where you need to step back. That's
part of it.
Okay.
So you wrote that sentence down. How can I ever get over this?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Read it.
How can I ever get over this?
Perfect. So he wrote it. He read it. So here's where the slowing it down. So we got it on paper. He read it. How does it make you feel? What kind of energy does that create?
The big word there was the how. Like that's popped out of me right away of just how, because then I started thinking of, okay, this is a problem that I can solve. This is something that I can work on.
Perfect. Let's make it even better. Scratch out the word ever.
How can I get over this?
What happens when you take out that one word?
It's the timeline on it is huge. Like all of a sudden it's that ever felt like it's this huge daunting task. It's this mountain in there, where this all of a sudden just seemed like just a task.
That's just one word, everybody. That one word, ever, is known as a dramatics. Just, only, ever, never. How can I ever get over this? When people say it, that one word is going to spike the drama, okay? Turn a molehill into a mountain, and it's a presupposition. So you've definitely got a growth mindset, because most people don't focus on the how, they focus on the ever. How can I ever get over this? So that's not a question, that's a statement of I'm screwed. It presupposes that I can't do anything about it. So I just this is the way things are. Woe is me. We take out the word ever and the drama comes down. How can I get over this? So it presupposes I can get over it, and then the mind starts looking for options, ways to do it. And in your case, ways to speed it up.
Right. That is powerful, and how easy it is that we just throw that word in there, just throw these words in there like nothing. It's just a throwaway sentence that you get in there. Like always. Oh, this always happens to me. And I remember when I talked with Dr. Nate Zinzer, and he talked about that work in his book on confidence, about just changing those two words of like, how can I do it, to let's see what I can do here. Of just like when you're going into something like, let's see, it's like, yeah, that little shift now turns it into, oh, I'm into this. This is an experiment that we're doing to see what I can do. Yeah, it's amazing, those small little things, like versus the big one that we always talk about in fitness is like that, need versus want and stuff like that. And like cliches that come out, cliches are tough because it seems like they lose some of their truth because they're said so much. It doesn't mean that they're not true anymore. It just means that they've been spoken so many times that just because it's familiar doesn't mean that it's still not true. And just watch those words and see what happens when you change those.
The conversation about words, I'm saying it again, it's becoming more common. It's becoming more common, and it's becoming more common and just easier to have, which they're essentially the same thing. And that's a very big deal, because without the words, mindset's not practical. What do you mean? So when we add into the conversation about mindset, what words to use more of and why, only if you want to stay focused on what's important and keep the drama down and enjoy your life. What words to use less of and why, and what words to use more of and why. Now the conversation about mindset is practical, and the root word of practical is practice. So it's easier to practice using my language, thoughts, words, writing in better ways. And one of the fastest ways to do that is to slow the whole thing down. That's why when people start having these conversations and they start thinking about their thinking, especially with what we're going to do next, their emails and their texts change because they've got that lag time. So what we're going to talk about now, everybody, is the gateway drug to the rest of your language.